2025. The feds would not allow my check to hit my account. They were literally hell-bent on chancing it to see whether or not they would be able to keep some of the things they took from me. Okay, in terms of DNA, making faces, and all kinds of other shit that they couldn't do. They're not bad. When I complain about my telephone, they complain about what happened to Kentucky. And they're making my telephone right now, so like all my life I've never not been able to just sit on the butt, okay? And for like probably the past 3 or 4 years, I haven't been able to just sit on my butt comfortably. So wait, when I say 3 or 4 years, let me make sure that math is right, because it wasn't before I left up my habit that it really became a problem, and then I really found myself sitting on like different type of surfaces, but like different all flat, this texture. And so yeah, they're doing something to my tailbone. So when I sit on a flat surface, they are pretty much removing all the muscle, like simulating, removing all the muscle on the back, so that it seems like it's bone and wood coming in contact with each other. So 2 hard surfaces. So it's not bone and wood, bone and concrete, bone and whatever you can imagine that I might sit on. And what it does is like it's so bad that like you can't even roll out of it. Like I have to like pick myself up from the ground like this, shift and move, in one way or the other. But I end up falling on one cheek or the other. I can't just sit. And that's how I've always sat. It's most comfortable. And now it's always uncomfortable. And after I'm this way for so long, they'll start attacking my butt cheek, and then the other butt cheek or so, and they attack it. And that just goes on and on till I'm not in this position. But that's one of many about me. You heard me disclose. Like they also do things to make my butt, like not my butt crack, but like my butt, the outside of my butt for no reason itch. And I told you, I talked about this most recently in College Park, and they were associating it with police. Police are white males. It's really trifling. I just wish you could see the other side of it, because from this angle, you can't see how bad it is. And from further, you can't feel how bad it feels. Come on, puppy. She might have to bark or nothing. Some days. So anyways, while I anticipated my funds hitting my account after they did not, when I tried to force them on the 24th and the 25th. Because they were fearful of me being outside in the cold and them getting caught having me outside in the cold at the end of the month. That's where they're capitalizing. It's like they're taking advantage of the beginning and the end. So notice it's always about 4 days in the end of the month, and then however long in the beginning of the month, week and a half, sometimes 2 weeks. And that's what they're showing all month long while I'm outside, sometimes half, more than half of the month. But they've been talking about me ruining their holidays and all the different types of tiers, financial categories, I guess, like that it would affect. They were talking about, let me back up. So today they kept acting like, like they were watching me plan. So like I made a Walmart cart yesterday. I priced hotels yesterday, and the prices were changed, so I checked the prices again today. I didn't make any reservations because they have it set up right now where they would try to dock me for it. And I made the in-between, like, so I had 8 in 2 days until I went and stole those subs from Walmart today. So I had my 8. So I was like, okay, I was gonna grab McDonald's, okay? And they got mad about that because, that's one of those places I never eat. Like, remember, once upon a time before this shit happened this year, it was like I eat at McDonald's 2 or 3 times a year. Okay, but like all the DoorDash and all the, trying different restaurants or whatever the case may be, even just Walmart orders, all of it gets too expensive. So sometimes, you see me getting by on, but not really. Okay, so they got mad about me doing that. They got mad about me going to 2 primary fast food restaurants, okay? Like, instead of me getting 2 sandwiches from McDonald's, located inside of a Walmart here on Jonesboro Road in Morrow, Georgia, they saw me like locate a Burger King, but it was that came from me locating a liquor store, a different liquor store, because I hate taking that route. So this is like 1.3 miles from here, okay, that liquor store, but there's no sidewalk most of the way. Okay, so I see another liquor store that Amal had mentioned to me previously, Shop Easier, something like that, and it's 2 miles away. And I'm like, but as I look at the route, I'm like, it looks like that's probably all paid. Like I could just take the sidewalk and it wouldn't even matter. Like, yeah, it's 2 more miles, but it's paid. And these are some of the things they saw me plan for, like, and the more I planned, the more they grew angry, and they talked about how my same activity always resurfaces, that at some point or another I get something from a fast food spot, at some point or another I go to Popeye's Chicken. And there's something big they have right on Popeye's Chicken, like, I just can't really put my finger on it right now, but when it comes to Popeye's Chicken here in Jonesboro, like, here in Morrow, Georgia, like, there's something, and they throw a fit about it, but they don't ever, how sometimes they get into the details. I told you, they just be talking openly like they letting the enemy hear, and yeah, when it comes to that location, they don't. One thing they did say, they mentioned the girl from the homeless shelter in Akron, Ohio, the Haven of Rest. They mentioned Tiaja, and they mentioned a young girl there. Okay, I guess that's probably like the deep for her or something. I don't know. Anyways, cute. Anyways, so yeah, they started complaining about how all my same activity resurfaces every month, and every month they end up having to get out of the headspaces that they claim belong to them as soon as my check hit, and that they always end up trying to put it off to the last minute, and that they are not running. They haven't been running from it. There was a point last night when they saw me taking to the grill at the church right next door. Not on their grill, but a space they have near their little something they made, and another something they made that they were grilling on, or whatever. They saw me take the grill some ribeye right there, and they were like literally almost all on board behind that, thinking that I would cook. But like I told you, I refused to cook because of what they would do with the footage, you know, like me doing anything that resembled cooking during the holiday, and then putting a different background on it and lying about where I was and what I was doing. I cannot do that. I cannot compromise myself in that way. So there's no cooking. They even were showing me ahead of time that the burner, the single burner, was on sale. They talked about the Jamaican guy that I gave. The Jamaican guy at the small mechanic shop that I gave that burner to, and how he had no idea how much it would come in handy for him, and how, you know, he had been instrumental in so many attacks on me for, like, pretty much leaving the food behind and running. But it's not just food I left behind. I left my white too and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, they about how everything that I was doing was the same thing that they claimed they done, and that they hadn't done anything, and that it only served 6 months I do it again, and that they've been door dashing in like in small amounts that I did not, because they said they were trying to make sure they ran everything through the office so that she could claim it. The activity. And not, you know, allowing any dashers to go to the hotel room doors at the railroad. They were complaining about old people. That thing had my toes tangled, and I couldn't figure out why I didn't get around it. Anyways, it was me. There's so much more I want to talk about, but I don't have time, and I don't have daylight either. I just had this wine that I sold while I was in Walmart, along with these socks and the 2 subs. Sub here. Up there, and the only reason I ate both was because Tuppy had only a little bit of dog food out for the day before the bag was empty. So I went ahead and I had both. I couldn't even bite into them, y'all, because probably had made my bottom front teeth sore for no reason, just made it up. But I ended up making sure I gave him a significant amount. And trying to get him to, you know, what he's really has today. And it's weird because normally when the dog runs out of food, that's when they get a little antsy. You know, like they will start making things move. And you know, from the person that vibrator, they actually they were the ones that brought it up to me. But remember, they stole my cord like over a month ago to make sure I didn't use my vibrator. And started surfacing in rooms nearby, like the next above my lucky status. There's so much more things I could tell you, but like I said, I just don't have time. It's not a lot of daylight left in the day. It's about 5:30 now. Sun will go down before 6:15, 6:30 maybe. Yeah, I need to. Like I said, they didn't let my money. It's going to be 39 degrees tonight. Freezing, okay, and the next night is going to be 34 degrees. So Thanksgiving night is going to be 34 degrees here in Morrow, Georgia. I was planning on going to jail today, and I still do. I haven't given up on it. It's just that between facilitating the care, caring for him, that I have him somewhere safe where no one can get to him, and me taking off for however long the amount of time I need to allow myself in order to, carry it out. But there's no way we can stay warm tonight or tomorrow. And to compromise there, I originally was going to not get a hotel room tonight or tomorrow anyhow. But in that case, I would have had my money and I could have prepared for it. So they saw me purchasing things for that too. So they saw all of it. They saw me think through everything. They saw the things I was going to buy for us to survive the cold. So now they're trying to act like I'm staying out here voluntarily and without nothing to survive. We'll take these bitches block off. And the crazy part is I've surfaced in Walmart every day for like 3 or 4 days. More than once a day. Like, and it's with the same game on, and they're just still lying no matter what. Acting like I wasn't waiting on the money. Trying to claim that I don't have money, that I never get a check. That there was no money coming, that I was like, they were claiming I was homeless and all kinds of stuff. So that's what all the holding up of the check is about. And for some reason, they're more pressed about it here in Morrow, Georgia than they were in other places. They did some fuckery, some bullshit everywhere. But here it's in a whole nother level. And I think it's because they were calling the Red Roof my home. Remember, they had changed that on the map to my home location. And they did all that same stuff around the time that I graduated. And the times they attacked my hair. And started calling the Arabic female me. The same one that more than likely complained about me being Arab, which is why the manager that got arrested by the FBI made me leave the hotel for no reason, okay? Like she was fucking me. And she told me that once we became frenemies. And I put you put it together. And I was like, so that's why he was always so motherfucking high and worried about me. You were saying some shit to him, let him know you was insecure about me being there, and you felt like I was going to be a threat to them being there. You know what I'm saying? For no reason. Talking about how the other employees was talking to me about the job to them. Puppy, don't move.